My family and I went to Dollywood over fall break in October, and this is what we experienced. Dollywood pretty much at capacity, which is never fun. After spending 2 days in the Smoky Mountains theme park to experience what it's really like to be at Dollywood when the place is pretty much at capacity, this is what I quickly realized more than ever, that Dollywood has a very big problem on their hand. And it's not a good one either. Dollywood is the fastest growing theme park in North America. The amount of expansion that we've seen from this wonderful theme park the last 20 years is honestly just insane. And with their new for 2026 attraction, Nightflyer Expedition, this major problem for Dollywood is about to get even worse. This is Theme Park Brandon, and Dollywood offers 10 world-class coasters. Well, I would say 9. The kiddie coaster is not world-class, but outside of that, every ride at Dollywood, coaster-wise, is very unique and heavily themed. And that's why we love Dollywood and all the great coasters there. But the big problem is they're all extremely popular rides with long lines, usually throughout the year, because Dollywood just seems to get busier and busier with every season going past. Now, with that being said, the most alarming thing is out of these 10 roller coasters like Thunderhead, Lightning Rod, Wild Eagle, but the most alarming thing is that only Mystery Mine and Fire Chaser Express can operate more than 2 trains at once. So the likes of Wild Eagle, Lightning Rod, Big Bear Mountain, Thunderhead, they can only operate 2 trains, and that's crazy when you think of the size of the theme park that Dollywood is. And I'm going to share all that with you, as well as tell you just how Dollywood can fix it. Another thing Dollywood suffers from besides capacity is the lack of reliability for the rides, especially the Lightning Rod. This here opened up in 2016 as Dollywood's staple attraction, the high-speed thrill coaster delivered in the thrill department, but sadly it suffers from so much downtime. You never knew when Lightning Rod was going to be able to be open during your visit. Heck, I was there over the past few weeks, twice now at Dollywood, 2 different trips. And the first trip, Lightning Rod never even opened up. And the second trip it did, but it's running 1 train, which creates a very, very long line. The reliability is a huge issue with Dollywood. We've seen it minorly with Big Bear Mountain. It's a brand new coaster somewhat, so I get it. But when you have a ride like Lightning Rod, that seems to be the biggest issue as far as reliability goes. It's going on 10 years come next year. Like Dollywood, RMC, you gotta figure it out. There's no excuse that this awesome coaster only runs 1 train most of the time and suffers from a very, very large amount of downtime, even still when they removed the launch and converted half of it to iBox track. John, honestly, it's really, really unfortunate, and Dollywood really needs to fix this fast, because when you have rides that have 180-minute long lines for Big Bear Mountain just the other day, as well as Wild Eagle 90 minutes, Fire Chaser Express 120 minutes, Lightning Rod 90 minutes, 1 train, that is a big deal for Dollywood. And the good news is it's not very difficult to fix it. But we know Dollywood has this crazy expansion plan in place, how they're going to grow the park, and it sounds all good and dandy, everything that we want to hear. But if they add 1 more coaster that is very low capacity, that is just, they're going to hurt themselves so bad by doing that, because people want to go to these theme parks and experience not crazy long lines, but good, reliable attractions. That's going to keep the line moving. And now that Dollywood was ranked, I don't buy into these awards, but it was ranked the best theme park in North America. I forget which magazine ranked it that way. Honestly, it's one of the best. I don't think it's better than Islands Adventure, Epic Universe, etc., but it is up there, top 10 probably. But they have to start acting like it in all ways. And we've seen a lot of good trends with the new restaurant opening up this year, which is good, by the way. A little overpriced, but it's good. That work on capacity, they've really emphasized the parking lot situation. The new entrance area is based on better capacity. But it's just the rides. With the new Nightflyer, this mock rides rocking boat attraction, might be a coaster, might be a dark ride, who knows, probably both. This here, 10 riders per vehicle. How many vehicles are they going to operate on the thing? 5, 6, 7 at a time? I just don't. I worry about the capacity for this new ride. It looks really awesome. I'm very intrigued by it. But Dollywood does not need another ride that's going to have a line that moves slower than a half-dead turtle. I love turtles, by the way. I used to have 6 turtles, and they're pretty slow. But with that being said, how to fix this? It's really simple. I mean, like my shirt says, keep riding coasters. Dollywood really needs to get a new coaster. I think 2028 could easily be the year. Have a major new coaster open up in the center of the park, as I've said in past videos, right next to Barnstormer, and have this ride come from either B&M, Vekoma, or even Mock Rides. Yes, Mock Rides, please. As much as I think B&M would do well here, the only type of B&M coaster that I could see Dollywood adding in this location would be a B&M dive coaster or a B&M hyper coaster. I would preferably want a B&M hyper, but due to this location right here, I think a dive coaster fits perfectly. And I got to admit, going up 200 some feet tall, being up, seeing all the mountains around you would be awesome. Dollywood and a dive coaster just makes so much sense, especially in this area in the center of the park. Dollywood has the money for a ride like this. They have the room for the ride like this. I prefer a hyper coaster of some sort, but B&M does not really build. They haven't built a one since Raging Bull, like a compact twister style hyper coaster. Will they start with this area? Because you cannot fit an out and back hyper in this area as you see here. That is where Mock Rides comes in place. We all know that Mock Rides can build an amazing hyper coaster that's comfortable, reliable, and high capacity. Having a Mock Rides hypercoaster in the center of the park right here would just do wonders. Airtime, inversions, amazing drops, working with the terrain. There's so much to like when it comes to a new roller coaster in this center of the park. And a wild card would be a Vekoma tilt coaster. Siren's Curse is amazing. This is the next phase of like awesome coasters. Get out to Cedar Point to ride it. It's amazing. You would love it. I would love to see what Dollywood can do with the theming, with Vekoma, with the ride in the center of the park like this. I do worry about capacity with a tilt coaster. It has to run 3 trains. That's the only way they can make it work. But I think that, again, how to fix it is capacity, capacity, capacity. I definitely think the new coaster is going to be a thrill coaster. It has to be high capacity. I mean, I'm walking around this park, guys, and I'm thinking to myself, like, this park, they have Dragonflyer 1 train, which is a great family inverted coaster. Tennessee Tornado 1 train. Wild Eagle 2. Lightning Rod 2. Again, Mystery Mine 4 trains, but only 4 or 5. It only holds 8 riders with no single rider line. Fire Chaser 2 trains. I think they sometimes run 3. And obviously Big Bear Mountain, 2 trains. Now, this thing's blocked for more, but if anyone knows that they have a 3rd train, let me know. I've been to Dollywood plenty of times. I've never seen a 3rd train on Big Bear Mountain. I'm shocked. So, Dollywood, please, if you're someone watching this, get on board with the capacity with the rides. You have to. You'll sell more time savers. The guest satisfaction will improve. And there's going to be just a great new buzz around Dollywood, knowing that you can go there and you're going to have high capacity rides. And once you build one in 2028, I think when they build their next coaster 3, 4, 5 years afterwards, it too will then feature 3 trains or more operation wise due to the size of the park. If they want to continue growing, they're going to have to focus on capacity when it comes to the roller coasters and reliability. If you're planning a trip to Dollywood, then check out these must-know top 10 things not to do when you're visiting Dollywood. You can find the showcase video at the bottom of your screen. Now I want to know what your thoughts are about Dollywood and the future of the park when it comes to capacity. You know what to do. This is Theme Park Brandon. Let me know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and keep riding coasters.